Hey y'all, welcome to the filling station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market, it's just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe because, we learn and we grow together. With that being said, y'all, let's get started. So we are now looking at Palantir, and what's interesting is Palantir could just come off of this 125.41. We're looking at the daily chart. 125.41, we've come off of this high only to come back down. We had a gap fill around the $100.37 down to this $84.48, and we are in that territory now. Looks like that 50 EMA, that 87.76 is what's holding us up as of now. Now to complete this gap fill, we need to come down to the 84.48. If we should break this 84.48 area, just know that we can come down and find support around the 79.81 area. Breaking that 79.81, it brings us back to this zone here. So I would definitely watch the 72.37 area. Breaking that 72.37 area, we could very well come back to 64.86, and if we should break that, the 200 EMA on this daily chart is around $56.80. Yes, that's interesting to see us back at the $56 range, considering we were just at the 125.41. That is very interesting. So I wanted to look at Palantir today from a different view. I always like to start on my 30-minute chart because it kind of gives me an idea of what's going on with it. As of now, looking at it from the 30-minute chart, it's trading in a zone in a gathering spot. As of now, the $90.68 is a resistance area for us, which is not far from the ATR trail, and stop around 91.48. So if we should break this 91.48 area for Palantir or PLTR, we could very well have trouble around 92.69. If we should break that level, 93.73, and breaking that level, the 200 EMA and this resistance line is around 96.49. So we definitely need to watch that 96.49 area. Again, back to the downside, breaking under the 89.49, we can come back to say around the 87.64, and if we break that 87.15 or 87 even, breaking the $87 range, we can come back to the 85.75, and breaking that 84.48 is that gap fill. So we definitely need to watch that. So if you're trading Palantir today, I say trade carefully, y'all. In the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. We are now looking at Tesla. Tesla closed at 302.80. What's interesting is it seems like we have a pre-market high of 310.18. Very interesting considering we closed at 302.80, right? So where are the trouble places for Tesla as of right now? We have support around 306.75. Resistance is right around, I would say, around the 309.61 area. Breaking that level, the 50 EMA as of now 310.26. ATR trailing stop is around 311.06. If we break that 311.06, I have 311.28. Just know that Tesla can move back to the upside. We could possibly have trouble around that 315.48, 315.43 area, breaking that 317.93, again at 320.30, and if we should break that 325.36 and breaking that level, you see where that 200 EMA is and the previous, support line. Now our resistance 328.35. So we definitely need to watch around that area. Now, can we continue declining? It very well can. So I would say under this level of 304.90, we would watch Tesla around the 304.90. We can find support at 303.23, and that was the 200 EMA on the daily chart. As you can see, we found support in that area. Breaking that 303.23 area, we could very well come back to, let's see, we came back to the $300.70, and if we should break that level, 299.75 could very well be a support place for us. And if we should break the 299.75, we could watch around the 297.25 or 297.84 for Tesla. We could very well find support there. And again, if we should break that level, 294.95, and if we break that, 293.50. I would definitely watch the 293.50. What's interesting for Tesla is just looking at the charts, it looks as if we have a gap that need to be filled to the downside around, let's see, it's around the 289.73. I have it down to 280.84, and then when I went back to look at it again, it's around 274.62. So somewhere in between the 289.73 and the 274.62, there is a gap that need to be filled for Tesla. And looking at this 1 hour chart, is it, showing us a bear flag to continue to the downside? So that's something to be mindful of. I say so often, Tesla does what it does. It normally exceeds its ATR to the upside or to the downside. Trade carefully today if Tesla is on your list for trading. So let's go to the SPY just to see where we are today. It looks as if we closed at 594.24, and the SPY 2 is trading in a zone or gathering spot here. I'm going to see if I can make that a little bit. There we are. So as of now, support is around 596.45, and moving back to the upside, if we should break back to the upside above 596.71, we could possibly have trouble 597.10. If we break that level, I would watch 597.36, and if we break that, 597.73. Breaking that level, 598.04, again 598.29. Now if we break the 598.29, we can see the 598.98 within reach. Now anything is possible. Back to the downside, losing this support at this 50 EMA here, I would say under 596.45, we can come back to this level, 595.97, and if we should break that level for the SPY, we can come back to 595.71, breaking that level, 595.32, which is not far from this 595.16 in my opinion. Something happened in this area, so we need to watch that. And as you can see, that's where the ATR trailing stop is, right under that 595.04. So in my opinion, SPY has a lot of support in this area from 595.29, 595.17, 595.04, and this 594.96. So we definitely need to watch this area if you're trading the SPY today. Again, not financial advice, so I will watch it under 594.94. If we should break that, we can come back to 594.37, 594.17, 593.85, and we could possibly have trouble in those areas. So if you are trading this SPY today, I say so often, y'all, trade carefully. And once it goes against your why, get out, live to trade another day. We are now looking at AMD. We closed at 103.96, and immediately my eye goes to this gathering spot here. And as you can see, I have not marked that yet, so let's see if we can do that now. As of now, we have trouble around this area, 105.24. That is a support area for us. As you can see, price has kind of like been hanging out in this area before, 105.24. Now if we should break back above, let's say the 105.62, we could possibly have trouble at 105.76. Again, I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale, so because when I'm in the trade, I want to know where my trouble places are or could be. Let's say that, right? So above 105.79 for AMD, we could possibly have trouble 106.12. Breaking that level of 106.12, 106.45 is that ATR trailing stop, and I have 106.51 as a previous support, which is now our resistance. So we definitely need to watch this area. 106.51, 106.45 could be a resistance area, rejection area for us. Now if we should break that area, 106.89, and again 107.28, 107.65, 108.05, and if we break that, 108.55, breaking that level brings us to the 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart, which is around 108.96 as of now. Now back to the downside for AMD, and the market is just interesting, right? Back to the downside, let's say under 105.24, we could very well, let's say, come back to around 104.82, and it's kind of like, where was our gathering spot? Where was price gathering in this area? So around the 104.85 area, and if we should break that, we could watch around the 104.40 possibly, and breaking that level, we can watch around 104.08, and these are just areas of consolidation, or the gathering spot, as I like to say, right? So this is kind of like the zone that we were kind of, when we were moving up, price stayed in this area, so we need to definitely watch that 104.08 104.08. If we should break that, we can come back to the retest of 103.62. So if you are trading AMD today, these are areas to the upside and to the downside. Y'all know I say so often in the market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. We are now looking at Nvidia. We closed at 126.63. As of now, this is our gathering spot. Resistance is around 129.96 as we see that, right? So it seems like we've been having trouble in this area, 129.96. If you're trading Nvidia today, these are areas I would look at for, possible rejection areas. Now, if we should break this area here, we could possibly have trouble again, 130.21, breaking the 130.21, 130.51, and if we should break that, 130.60, which is not far away. Now, breaking that 130.60, we could possibly have trouble around the 130.92, and as you can see, there's a few layers of resistance here. So from the 130.92, 131.02, 131.18, all the way to the ATR trailing stop at 131.39, that could be trouble place for Nvidia to the upside. However, if we break the 131.39, we could possibly have trouble again at 131.58, and again here at 131.81, breaking that level, 132.29. Those are going to be trouble places for us, or resistance areas for Nvidia. Now back to the downside, if by chance we break under this 129.47, and price kept us in this area for, so I'm going to mark that 129.47 or 129.50 area. I need to remove that. So if by chance we stay in this zone here, that is our support as of now, and as you can see, it's right where the 50 EMA and the 20 EMA is. So breaking that level, we can come back to, I need to get that off. If we should break the level of, I need to, just one moment, that will drive me, yes, okay, so breaking the level of 129.50 for Nvidia, we could very well come back. The support is here also at the 50 EMA and the 20 EMA, so I would say under the 129.37 area, 129.35 area for Nvidia, we can come back to 129.01, breaking that level, 128.74, and if we should break that, 128.55, again at 128.40, so there's a few layers of support here that could possibly hold us up. What's interesting is if we break this 128.40 area, we can come back to 128.12. Breaking that level, we can come back to around 127.81, possibly have trouble in that area, and if we should break that, we can come back to 127.48. Breaking the 127.48 or 127.49 area, we can come back to 126.89. So if you're trading Nvidia today, it is trading in a zone for us, y'all. In the market, anything is possible. It could move in either direction, so I say so often, trade carefully. There were a couple of inside day candles on the list for today, and what I like to do is give the trigger, meaning if it break above this level, this is the possible target, or if it should break below this level, the possible target is this. So CSX is the first one on the list. If by chance we break above 32.27, upside target 32.51, under 31.88, downside target 31.72, and CSX normally moves about 53 cents per day, which is not a big mover. However, if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully, right? So IP, or international paper, is also an inside day candle. Above, if it should break above the 55.58 area, we could possibly have trouble 55.87, not far away. Under 54.50, downside target 54.22, and IP, which is international paper, normally moves $1.53. That is the ATR. Keep in mind that could be in either direction. So if by chance you're trading IP, it is an inside day candle. Again, y'all, this is what I see when I look at the market. I say so often, there's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's interesting is finding a way or a strategy that works best for you and executing your plan, right? Or having the discipline to execute your plan. I'm going to look at Bitcoin just really quick, because we're coming off of a high also with Bitcoin. What's interesting is when I was looking at this chart, it looks as if Bitcoin had a gap to the downside. And it was around, and I know y'all, my charts are very congested. Again, I like to chart. So it looks as if around from 11.8 to Yes, 11.8 to 11.11, or 11.11 down to the 8th. There was a gap that needed to be filled for Bitcoin. What's interesting is it's right in between. The 200 EMA is right in between that gap. So that 79.62, it would not surprise me to see us at that level. What's interesting now is we are not, the ATR trail and stop on this daily chart is, resistance area for us. There's a lot of support places. However, there is a gap to the downside for Bitcoin. So that's something to be mindful of. I would say trade carefully in either direction, right? Trade carefully. Again, y'all, so again, this is what I see when I look at the market. I hope that everyone have a very productive day, an awesome day today. If you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that, because y'all, we learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. And that is, yes.